So would you consider writing a new book with everything you've experienced after finishing the other
Like
one?
the sequel,
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Like,
Julia's Life, the sequel. Um, yeah, yeah, I do. I want to keep writing, and I want to keep writing, you know, books that people would want to read, I guess. I want to get better. I certainly want to refine my skills. And I think I would need a new topic to like muse on. Because, a lot of the a lot of the things I discovered in New York that then translated into that book, I'm still refining those answers now. Like my career is in no way perfect or set for me. There's like tons of confusion and uncertainty in that. And in a lot of things in life in general, it's like, what do you want your life to look like? What do you want your life to be? That's a huge question. It's not that much clearer for me now than it was in New York. I actually realized that I just am much better at being peaceful and enjoying the confusion than I used to be. So I don't know. I guess I could write a book about that. But I think if I wrote another book, it would be something maybe piecing together the home project, the blog, um, or maybe it would be a fiction work, piecing together short stories. But I seem to work in short format better. Like it's scary to me the idea of writing like a novel. Like even my book is a collection of stories. It's a collection of stories that shape together a year in New York. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know what my next book would look like.
well, whatever it is, I
Jules'
would totally
Wisdom.
read it.
Oh, good, good, good. I
I'm
appreciate that.
sure I know a few people who would too, so you've got that covered.
I could sell a few copies. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely. I'll buy
yeah.
3 if it helps.
Oh, thanks. Well,
You're welcome.
I still want to keep. I'm still trying to keep pushing this last one because I did have a goal that I set for how many copies I wanted out there, and it's not like a financial. It's like because I wanted it to have a certain reach. I feel that it can help people. I feel like it's a story that a lot of people can read because it was a story that I needed. Basically, I wrote the book that I wish I had in that time in
Yeah.
New York. I wish I had someone telling me, I know this seems crazy, I know this seems scary, but it's actually all going to work out. And so I wanted to give that then to other people. So I'm still trying to push this one because I think that message, still has some reach that it could be used for.
Have you ever considered like doing your own events for you as an author, like separate from Star Kid?
No.
You should. If you came to Florida,
Really?
I would grab people and go. I would.
Really? We'll do a Julia Albain convention.
There you go. You can do that. I'm sure we can find 3,000 people to come.
Well, a real question I have for fans is because I like I said, I really wanted to direct something recently, almost on my own. And lately, I've really been thinking about it's like if I did a Kickstarter to raise money to produce my own show that I directed, that would probably have a lot of our friends in it. Do you think the fans would back that?
Yeah. Okay. I know I keep saying that,
I'm,
but I totally would.
I might. I've been thinking a lot about it, and I might do that. I might do that this fall. I might really just do my own project because I think maybe I love doing everything with Starkit, but I also think that sometimes I get too comfortable with that. Like it would be good for me to branch out and do something on my own. That's kind of what the book was about too. It's like I want to do, but even that, you know what I mean, ties into Starkit because I
Yeah.
talk about Starkit a little bit in there. I think it's like it is important for each of us to do things that are separate. That keeps us kind of, alive and fresh for each other. We're the best to each other when we have parts of ourselves that are outside of the group.
And I mean,
So
like,
yeah, maybe I'll remount Judas. Do you think people would come if I remounted Judas?
yes. Definitely no. I'm
I don't think
serious.
I don't. Maybe I will. I don't think I could get Darren though. I think he's a little busy.
People would go anyway. I'm
I would
really
love
looking
to
forward to it.
to plug that and promo that a little bit because It's still available. People can still buy it, obviously. Um, it was something that was my first attempt. So, uh, there are definite, like, I want to disclaim to people that there are mistakes in there. You know what I mean? It's like it was a first attempt, and that in it, I think the actual mistakes in it, like, just even adds to the beauty of it. It makes it almost perfect in that sense because the whole book is about me realizing that I didn't have to have it all together or know everything. I my whole time in New York was all about realizing that I am never going to have it all together. I'm never going to know what's going to come next all the time. It's just not perfect. Life's messy. And the book is kind of messy, but that's okay. And it was my first attempt, and I was proud of myself for doing it. Um, and it made me realize that I want to do more of it. And I really do love writing. And it was something I just kind of fell into, but I love it. And so it's funny that you bring that up too, because I've been getting a lot of feedback from fans, like thanking me for the writing. And I always seem to get that, like an onslaught of emails or feedback from the fans right around a time when I'm questioning my writing, where I go, I'm not very good, I should stop. And then, of course, like universal signals, all of a sudden I'll get like, a dozen emails in one day where they go, please keep writing, your writing helped me so much. And I go, okay, I get it. Like, thank you. Um, so yeah, so thank you to the fans, by the way, for reminding me, because I get down on myself too sometimes, and it's nice to hear from people, and it's nice to know that it makes a difference. So yeah, I don't even, did I answer a question or did I just start talking?
No. You answered. Actually, I forgot, but it's on the topic of the book, so it's all good.
Yeah,
I totally forgot what I asked,
I'm
actually.
I'm a mess, as you can see. I'm
That's
really,
okay.
what people should know. It's like I'm kind of what I've learned about myself is that I'm kind of ADD.
I
I'm
am.
actually severely ADD. So I get off topic. But yes, my writing. Writing is something I love. I'm happy that other people love it as well. You can pick up my book, and like I said, I've taken a break this summer, but I think it's time to get back to the writing because I haven't been writing much. I tend to do a lot on blogs because for whatever reason, it's a format that helps me. Like, I like being able to write in short bits. But lately, I've been thinking more about stretching my other muscles, which is fiction writing, which is something that scares me because I tend to write from a very personal voice. That's why I write a lot of like nonfiction. I write blogs. I write books about me. I write the way I would talk to you. When you read that book, it's the same as if I sat down and just told you about my year in New York. Um, but when I was in college, I was in creative writing classes, and I have a lot of short stories that I wrote at that time. And lately, I've been really feeling like maybe I should stretch those muscles again and get back some of that.
I would read that.
Really?
I know. I sat down the other night
Maybe
and
I
I
should
read.
just release my unpublished short stories. The thing is, though, even
You
when I write fiction,
should.
it comes from a really personal place. But it's like I use the fiction to write the things that I like, that are so personal that I don't want to write it from a nonfiction perspective. But that's even scarier because like people read it and they go, okay, she's like talking about herself here. Um, Someone once said that writing is like walking around naked, basically.
Mm.
And it's kind of true. It's like you got to walk around with your pants down. Like you have to be really brave to be willing to let people read that stuff because it is personal.
No,
But
I agree. Well, I
it's good
sat
having.
down the other night and I read through your whole blog and I started thinking about sending something in, but the thing for me is that I'm still trying to figure out what home is.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I gathered as much from your blog. So but I really want to send something in. The whole blog just really, I don't know, spoke to me, I guess you could say, because it's
Well,
a
I'm
topic.
glad.
It was so good. I literally just read through the whole thing in one night, like less than one night, because I'm a fast reader.
Hmm.
But it's something that a lot of people can relate to, you know? I don't think anyone
Yeah,
really
I
knows what
think.
home is.
Mm-mm,
It takes a lot of
no, and I
figuring
don't
out.
think it's. Yeah, yeah. And especially at this age. And see, that's the thing. It seems like I tend to start these blogs around questions I have. Like, I started my blog in New York because it was a question of who am I? You know what I mean? Like, what is the meaning of life? Those are big questions. But you know what I mean? Basically, it was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with my life? Like, how do you do this life thing? And that blog turned into the book. You know what I mean? And this one, then, it was like, I found a whole new sense of plantedness here in Chicago. You know, like, I feel like I have a family of friends. I feel so much more comfortable, in a physical sense, in a lot of ways. But you still, like, you know, the same questions keep coming up. You go, where is home then? I've moved around so many times in the past few years. I've got homes everywhere because, like, my family is a home to me, but then I have friends that are a home to me. But then there's a piece of me that feels at home when I'm traveling, when I'm totally unrooted, you know, and there's a restlessness in that. And so it seems like, but I think it's funny that, so I have this quote, as I'm saying all this, I have this quote that's on this post-it note right here on my computer that I found the other day, and it just perfectly describes what I've been trying to put words to lately about, like, life. And basically, it's from Rilke, and can I read it to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Basically, the quote says, "Have patience with everything that remains unsolved in your heart. Try to love the questions themselves, like locked rooms and like books written in a foreign language. Do not now look for the answers. They cannot now be given to you because you could not live them. It is a question of experiencing everything. At present, you need to live the question. Perhaps you will gradually, without even noticing it, find yourself experiencing the answer some distant day." And I think that that's something that I've been realizing, is that we have questions and we want answers, but the meat is in the question. You have to live the questions. And so it's like, I ask the question, what is home? And I'm not I haven't received an answer, but I've received a wealth of knowledge in the question itself, you know,
Yeah.
and in the journey of answering the question. That's where the good stuff is. The answer will mean nothing, you know?
Okay. So, about New York, because I still have a few questions about your writing that I want to get to. You were in New York for,
Sure, sure, sure.
is there, I think there might be a lag or something. Can you hear me, like, or does it take
Yeah,
a
I
little
can hear
bit?
you perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what was
great.
the process of writing your book like? Because you were in New York for a year and this started as a blog, right?
Hmm. Yeah. So I was in New York for a year and I wrote the blog. And when I left New York, I was like rereading through the blog, and I'd been given little, like, droplets of like, write a book, like little whisperings, starting around like probably January of 2010. But basically ignored them because I was having a, you know, quarterly crisis. So when I was leaving New York, I was rereading through everything and just basically remembering what a journey I'd gone on over the course of a year. So it was around that time, so that would have been like August of 2010. And I left, and I had this like 6 week period where I was in between New York and Chicago, and I was at home with my parents. And it was just like a time of rest and reflection, and I started just writing. And that basically, then it stretched to the end of the year. And I started, the book started to form a structure better, where I started saying, well, I want to piece together the actual blog entries and then my reflection of the blog entries as well. You know what I mean? And like, to be able to see how my perspective has shifted. Um, and then basically going into the new year, I was like setting goals for myself, and I was like, you know, I just want to do this. I want to do it, and I want to finish it. I want to know that I can, because otherwise it would stretch on forever. And then once Starship closed, and it was like in March, and I had more time, that's when I fast tracked it, because it was something that I saw being a project that I would stall on forever. And I was like, I want to finish this because I want to be able to say that I did it, you know, and that I can do it. And so that's kind of how it was. But it was honestly a lot of just piecing together and reminiscing and writing when the urge hit me, and like basically detoxing and processing what I'd gone through in New York and using writing as a tool for that. And out of it came a book.